tells us that we need to use 3 layers. This is our border. It wants it to be white. That's good, but it's not on the correct thing yet, layer yet, which we're going to create. So I'm just going to put this over here for now, so we can see it while I work, if it'll not blow up on me. So trying to get just a little further so it doesn't interfere. Okay, so now we want to create layers. So this is our layer property manager. We can do a whole lot of things with this, but we're going to learn today how to create layers, name layers, and control our line weights. So we click on our layer properties and it opens the layer box. Notice that we are on the 0 layer. It's checked green and it will not let you rename it. It is there for a particular purpose, which we will get to in future lessons. But for today, we want to come over and see this very first one where it looks like a stack of pages. That is new layer. We can click on that. It'll create a new layer for us. We're going to name that one border. It says to leave it at white. Our line weight, if we click on it, 0.3 millimeters doesn't give us choices in inches, even though our drawing's in inches, but that's the one we're after. We can tell it okay and say it changed to 0.3. It's white. The light bulb means our layer is turned on. We've also got a sun that'll turn to a snowflake when we click it, and we've also got a lock, so we can lock the layer so it can't be accidentally changed. We will cover them things in greater detail later. So now we've got our border layer created. We'll create another layer. We're going to call it title block. It tells us it wants color 94. So if we come over here and click on that, it brings up our color palette, and notice down here, index color, right below where my mouse is, there are numbers. So we want 94. So we got to go find 94. 99, 95, 93. Okay, it's wanting to be difficult. 93, 95, 92, 90, 94. So that's the one we want right there. We click it, we tell it okay, and now we have the right color, but notice it also changed our line weight, which we don't want. So we can click back on that, tell it to go back to our default, and tell it okay. So that's 2 layers set up correctly. Now we need our revision block. So we'll make a revision block. It specifies blue. So we click on that. When it says a color by name, it's talking about these, however many there is right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it wants us to pick the blue from that right there. Tell it okay. Our line weight stayed default, so we're good. So we've created our border, but right now it's on the wrong layer. So we want to fix that. So we can do that by, and you can X out of this. I tend to just let it go over there, then when I roll across it, it'll bring it back out. So we need to move our thing to the layer we want it to be on. So there's several ways of doing that. So change the current layer is one, copy to a new layer. There's multiple ways to do it, but the way I prefer to do it, so one way we can do it, so we'll come to our border, or yeah, that's our border. So we'll come up here and activate our border layer with the check. Notice the check mark moved. Then we'll select the object, and tell it to change to current layer. So now that we've done that, if we turn our layer off, notice our part goes away. I'd like it back, so I'm going to turn the layer back on. And that's one way that we can move things between layers. Now, when layers are different colors like this, you can actually, if you select the object and then come up here and click on things, like click the color, it'll change color, but it will not change what layer it is on. So you have to be sure you put it on the correct layer. Let's see. So the next thing we need to do here is we need to create the title block down here. So this section in green, and we're gonna do it a very simple way, but we want it to end up on the right layer. So rather than having to move it, we're just going to come over and we're going to activate our title block and just draw right on that layer. That's not necessarily best practices, but it's fine for what we're doing right now. So we're going to come over and we're going to get another rectangle. Since the drawing is showing us the measurements from this corner, that's the corner we're going to